Hello YouTube, Crosstrain here, coming to you again from World of Tanks. I'm going to go ahead and roll this replay. I am in my T-150, which is a Tier 6 Russian Heavy. Of course, the most popular Tier 6 Russian Heavy is the KV-1S. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But I had unlocked this quite some time ago and just decided, I bought a bundle of gold and credits, so I thought I want to get to the IS-4, so I'm going to go ahead and start working this line. So bought this, I don't know, a couple weeks ago maybe. And I'll be honest with you, I always kind of intrigued me because I've been hit by it a few times. And this bad boy hurts. So I picked it up, and this is a game from yesterday I played, and you are going to see, well, I'll go ahead and ruin the ending, but I probably wouldn't be bringing it to you if it wasn't a good game. But pick up my ace tanker in this game, and I am, as you can see, at the top of the list. It is a Tier 6 game, so I am in my element as far as that goes. XVM had a slightly down, 49 to 51%, so it's basically a 50-50 game, but looking at all the colors on the chart here, they had 3 green players and we had me. So I was thinking that 49% was probably slightly off. So, at any rate, I want to pause for just a second. I want to give shout-outs right now. You probably will never see this, but if you know them, or if you do happen to see this, Beef Supreme in the M6 right next to me. He did an extraordinary job a little later in this video. You'll see. And really responded nicely to some commands. Not really commands, but I asked him for some help. And he snapped right to it. So, Beef Supreme, from me to you, shout out. Well played in this game. And thank you for the help. So, if you know Beef Supreme, go ahead and let him know I told you that. So, anyways, so in this I decided, since we're top tier, I was going to take my heavy, I was going to go into the city. You're going to see some of the things that make this tank so very good. And, of course, the obligatory TOG jokes are going on in the in chat, as a TOG is in this game. So, you know, that requires people to make stupid jokes about them for at least the first 4 or 5 minutes of the match. But I see some tanks showing up already in the town. And decide to go in, and I see this Stug 3 in the VK3801, and I decide to see, well, let's see, most Russian tanks are really good at side scraping, so we're going to check this out. Sure enough, ooh, look at, caught that Stug on fire and took them all the way down. I did get tracked, as you can see, but it's no biggie. As long as those guys don't come around the corner there, I'm good to go. So I am just... watch the beating this thing takes from tracks. And maybe this isn't so impressive because it was a Stug 3 after all on a VK30-01. He's trying to do some side scraping too, but to get around the corner and enough to put one into his front pan. Now he's trying to get around me. It just didn't work. So, yeah, and there's 2 down, 1100 damage already. Looks like everybody in front of me is gone, so I do have a couple of tanks, a KV-1 and a KV-1S over on this other corner, as I'd seen earlier. So I'm just watching. I mean, the game's going pretty well for us actually right now, and so far nothing terribly special. Showed that against Tier 5s the side scraping on this tank is pretty good. And so I decided I'm going to take first targets first. I targeted that KV-1, if you're wondering why I took that instead of the KV-1S, is because I could get shots on the KV-1 without the KV-1S having shots on me. Although, as you can see, he just tracked me, did pierce but no damage. And he is, to his credit, trying to side scrape. Somehow I stuck one in his side scraped tracks for 290 anyways. The KV-1S comes back out. And once again, I burn him down. So, I'm going to continue doing the side scraping bit with this guy, and he's pretty much in trouble. So, here we are, cleaned up guy next to me, the Tog, I guess it was, got the kill shot on that guy, but here we are at 2,361 damage already, and I've suffered exactly 11 points of damage. That looks like it came from the KV-1S, who got an HE shell into me. One of the beauties of this tank, because side scraping like that, again, especially when you're top tier, it is just, man, it's almost unfair. I don't feel bad, but it is almost unfair. Churchill comes by and pops me for 135, but that's okay. And then I'm noticing what's happening in the west, so I decide I'm going to go ahead and take this Matilda out first, and then roll back to my base. Still alive with me. I have that M6 Beef Supreme we talked about earlier. He's still alive with me. Try to snack one through there. It didn't quite work. But there the M6 goes ahead and takes that out to Matilda. So now you can see I'm telling Beef Supreme to fall back, meaning follow me, and he knew exactly what I meant. Tells me affirmative, and sure enough, he gets on my heels to follow me. Because what's happening in the west is our team is completely falling apart. Even though we have a 13-9 advantage, we've got that VK-36-1 moving in on our Arty. I'm actually, the Arty just took out one of theirs too. It's a great shot. Trying to tell him to hold, and in a minute I'm going to tell him to move back so he doesn't die. And we're coming back to kind of give him a little help here. Our Tog is slowly, as you can see on the east part of the map, working his way up towards their screen, or towards their spawn, as well as what he expects Arty to be up there as well. So trying to tell the Arty M44 move back. You'll see me say that in chat here shortly. Or maybe I already said it, I don't remember. Oh no, there it is. But he just stayed right out front until the 36-1 came in. But again, I'm thinking, this is pretty much it. And bingo, I bounce. Shot, as the M6 did. And again, let's study this for just a second. For those of you who are watching this, that there's just a little piece of advice, and I didn't do it. It was actually this guy I'm looking at right here, who is General Bradley Omar from 3rd AG. He rightfully so took out the one-shottable tank to my left, the M6. That was the end of Beast Supreme. But again, I gave him shout out earlier because I asked him to fall back with me, not knowing what would be back here at the time. There were 3 tanks loose, including their Arty. At the time I told him, and he came with me. So, but again, this was a good decision there by the 36-1 to go ahead and take our M6 out, who was a one-shottable tank, because he couldn't have one-shotted me. And always take a gun out of the game if that gun can do anything to you, and the M6 certainly can. So, good, well played. It's not going to matter much because I'm going to blow him up, as I did right there. He did track me, though. Didn't give me for any damage. But he did track me. You see there, Arty just popped me for 95 with an HE. Our M6 asked, how did we both bounce? And I'm going to answer him and say, the 36-1 actually played it pretty well. He actually angled his tank just a little bit, and I know I hit him, and I snapped my shot off too quick, and really just poor decision on my part. It was a bad shot for me. But, so I'm thinking, and all of a sudden there Arty shows up right next to me. Now this is fun. I try to snap a shot at him. This is one of my, I don't know, 2 or 3 misses I have in this game. But watch what happens when, I don't know what happened. Maybe he hit a bump or something, but he's trying, of course, to put a shot right in my side. But watch where his shot goes when he fires here. He just fired that thing straight up in the air. It was pretty funny. But he's fast, but he's not fast enough to escape in 8 seconds. So with that, ball game's over. 3,093 damage, as you can see up top. I got 5 kills. It was just a pretty darn solid game out of this T-150. I want to take you to the post-game stats, though, and show you what this looked like from the side. So you can see it was a master tanker. I also got high caliber and steel wall. 55,000 credits, 4,142 XP. That is doubled. That was my first win of this day. 5 kills, damage to 7 tanks, lots of critical hits here, and 2 spots even. In the team score page, again, you can see the damage differential was pretty significant. 3,093 for me, 1,381 base XP. If you're wondering what it takes to master a T-150, there you have it. That will do it if you get there. But the damage was our Hellcat and our Slugger did decent work. And again, the M6 did some okay work as well. On their side, this General Bradley, the guy that I killed at the end of the 3601, he racked up some kills, 5 and 2,400 damage. And then their Churchill and their Artie both were over 1,000 damage. So that was pretty solid. As you can see, I took 15 shots. 12 of them were hits, so I missed 3 shots. 11 of those were pens for 3,093 damage. I received 11 hits. It says I took 8 penetrations, which I did, but only went through 1 layer of armor. It says 3 non-penetrations, but I only took a couple hundred hit points worth of damage. As you can see in the repair, only 1,673. I fired 15 shots, 12,000. I didn't fire a single gold round. Those were all regular AP shells. So this tank is pretty darn solid, and I can recommend it. I've had some horrific games in it, but I've also had some very, very good games. This was an 11,000 plus win 8 game, so I was pretty pleased with it, as you would think. But so if you're thinking about going up to the IS-4 and you've heard bad things about the T-150, I don't know. I kind of like it. I think it's good. It's slow, hits big, decent reload at 8.6 seconds. So I can, from where I sit, I can heartily recommend the T-150 Russian Tier 6 Heavy on the way to the IS-4. So, until next time, this is Crosstrain from World of Tanks. And again, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, I'd love to have you drop me a like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And until next time, when I see you on the battlefield, hopefully on my side. Until then, peace.